Ladies and gentlemen.
Same team. It's like a WCW match. And then I keep on growing up, listening to music and questioning things.
So long story short here, they're contacting all these entities and they're poor and they're like, hey, can you help with this, like with some of the money? And they're like, yeah, no, like we don't care. And also you stink. Like they hated the smell of people. They constantly told them how disgusting they were. Like basically they just completely shut up, shit on them every day, gave them this stuff and was like, you're going to write it down. Well, just like everything, like our food's synthetic, our meds are synthetic, our world's like it's synthetic, like our fabrics are synthetic, our shoes are, I mean, just, I don't know. Like, and these people that talk about it, they're like, oh, we'll buy our organic. I'm like, you're missing the point. Like everything is tainted. Everything.
But even if it's organic, it doesn't matter. They're spraying stuff from the sky, and the stuff from the sky falls down on your crop unless you have a greenhouse and you're protecting any water from coming underneath it and all that. Okay, so be it. But
it's impossible.
Yeah, you're right, Heidi. Everything's tainted, and everything is to disconnect you from nature.
Mormon still? Like if you believe that Joseph Smith was talking to spirits,
I truly believe in another side of things of the world, whether it's for John Dee or Joseph Smith, right? Like, but do I think they were good spirits? Absolutely not. No way. Because it says in the Bible, even if an angel shows up and gives you another book in my name, to what? Not believe them. And so he already kind of pre-covered this because God's like that. And he's like, by the way, if Muhammad or Joseph or anybody comes on up and starts talking to you about their book, probably not. And
unless they got the secret handshake.
Yeah. And even Crowley, well, Crowley did have the secret handshake and he did the Lima and that still didn't work out. So he channeled AWAS just the same and he made that book of the law. So I'm just saying, like, I'm smart enough to know this. There are things we will never understand. All right, we'll stop it. Sorry about our Mormon humor. If you're an ex-Mormon, you laugh too. If you're a real Mormon, you're probably mad. Sorry.
Good.
You shouldn't be watching my show.
It's all bad for you.
Oh boy. Yeah, it's bad.
So that becomes important because as they start talking, Chad and Lori starts sending him requests to have him use this scale system that they're detailing to decide to assess her children, Tylee and two of her children, Tylee and JJ.
How come this didn't go anywhere? Right? Like this is weird to me because you hear about the lesser keys of Solomon, you hear about like, I mean, they used demons to build the temple. They did all this stuff, but yet this just died like a slow death. Yeah.
The lesser and greater keys of Solomon have been used by the occult.
That we stop serving the House of Abrac just because we've been busy with this whole Book of Mormon thing, right? Okay. Well, if you know what the House of Abrac is, it's Abraxas.
Really reveal themselves, the so-called extraterrestrials, and they're not extraterrestrials. They're interdimensional entities.
Yes.
Interdimensional entities, i.e. fallen angels. And when you say angels, angel, it just means messenger.
Right? Like, if I could save a couple people from maybe they heard this and they're getting ready to go do the temple stuff, that's when everything changes. And then I do want to answer one question before you jet, unless you got to go right this second.
No, I got it.
Mark Hoffman in the salamander stories. So this whole thing about the salamander, you have to understand, there's a true story about Joseph Smith trying to go get the plates and a toad, not a salamander, a toad, hit him, punched him, and knocked him out. That's real. Okay. Now, all of a sudden, this salamander story comes out and they're like, and if you go to somebody and say, did you hear that story about salamanders? And more? Oh, that was debunked. Fake news. Okay. No, it wasn't. It was a toad. So here's what my conjecture conspiracy theory is, and I'll tell you why. I believe that Mark Hoffman was contracted by the Mormon Church to possibly make this a situation so that it would cover up the fact that that toad story really happened, and then they could debunk it and say, yeah, that was a lie. He was an amazing copier. He was a criminal in a lot of ways, but I'll tell you something. The pipe bomb thing, I just don't know, because I know this. I know some guards. Okay. So he tried to unalive himself, apparently, and he went 12 hours in the prison, and their shifts are 12 hours. That means in all of somebody's whole shift on death row, nobody checked on this man while he laid on the floor on a cell, which doesn't happen in death row. Okay. This doesn't happen. My friend works there. Okay. I've confirmed with him. And he said the only thing that happened to him, because he lived, was real curious. He laid on his right arm for too long, and it damaged it so badly he'll never write again.
That's how they look at things. But I do think that, even something that I had not known about but learned about was that, like, the heel sticks at the hospital, why they need to collect every infant's blood and save it into a database, and the 23andMe and the Ancestry.com, and willingly just submit your DNA to us, and we'll tell you if your great-great-granddad was a Civil War soldier. Is it worth it to know? Because now you've just become a part of the huge database. But at the end of the day, it's not like they can't just use it for whatever they want. They can, actually, because now it's their property. You gave it to them. You signed a consent form. Now they can use it for whatever.
Well, and they're going to get it, like you said, on the PKUs with the heel sticks. They have it anyway. I think we are all numbered. And the church won't dig it up. And now they're planting tons of trees on it and saying, well, it wouldn't be right if we dug it up because look at all these trees, but it used to not have trees. And people go to it like it's a Mecca for Jesus. Like they go there and worship Joseph Smith. So basically how they get out of it is they say, well, that's old news and this is new news. Like how, so they're like, these are the more updated rules. This is the more, we know more now because Joseph Smith talked to that angel. And so that's how we know. And they do. They have ways. You leave, if you have questions, you leave going, wow, I must be so stupid. Like you just feel so stupid. You're just like, oh my gosh, like I can't even believe I ever doubted that.